we'll be discussing this critical area of social engineering attacks and its mitigation. The best approach that an organization can be able to incorporate the best protective strategies against such kind of cyber attacks. First, we have to incorporate training. We have to train our staff. Well, KnowBe4 tells us that it takes around 6 months for a staff to forget what the staff has been trained, right? That our brain has the capability to forget that this is a red flag within 6 months. So if you don't train your staff in a continuous manner, it will be all in vain, right? So in the next area of strategy that we need to incorporate, we need to also test. After you have trained, you need to test. We need to test this stuff that if we train in this particular area that we are training, for instance, in email red flags, right? We need to test. We need to roll out a phishing campaign, and this needs to simulate what is actually being rolled out by the attackers out there. Once we have tested, we will be able to identify our risk score in accordance to our exposure rating, right? And then after we have tested, we now need to encompass proper training, targeted training towards these people who failed the test. How can we be able now to incorporate more protection measures of how to test these particular elements? That is including tailgating, shoulder surfing, and smishing and phishing. So we need to have a red team in place. Well, we have heard about red teaming, but one thing that red teaming does, it not only does exploitation of vulnerabilities of our systems, but also exploitation of the human firewall. So the red team will come in place to test our controls, our measures that we have put in place towards ensuring that we cannot be able to leak sensitive information. So for instance, a USB drop test. That one can be able to visualize whether our staff know that if one can be able to identify a USB device lying around the lobby, can be able to present it to the best personnel without injecting it in his or her laptop, right? So in most cases scenario, we have the element of BYOD. Yes, we have incorporated the endpoint security device to lock the USB ports, but still the BYOD, we don't have those measures in place. So once we have trained this staff, we'll be able to protect them. Lastly, it's intelligence gathering. Right now, each organization is struggling to ensure that they have visibility of what's happening internally and what's happening externally. How can we be able to have this kind of intelligence? We need to partner with organizations out there. We need to share intelligence with bodies, with professional bodies, consultants, and other key stakeholders who will be able to provide to us about our external facing assets, how they look like, and also as we conduct the vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, we'll be able to have a holistic visibility of how our organization is exposed externally. That's it from Joseph Oshira, Senior Consultant at Sentinel Africa. Thank you.